Hey folks, welcome back to Flight Simulator, and we're up here in Prepare 3D 4.5. We're in the Chugach Mountains up here at Chittana, which is Charlie X-Ray Charlie. We're on our route back to Cordova Smith, our home base, up here in Alaska, and we're going to have to head off. But this one is a little bit interesting because our runway is behind us there, and it's uphill. So, let's get ourselves taxied out. Should be a routine flight. It's about 70 to 80 nautical miles. We're taking the valley route, so it's a little bit more scenic. Nice and easy. Now this is one where, with it being nice and easy, I have decided to set some more random failures. So we'll see exactly what will happen to the aircraft. And unlike the last one, we're not in a nice big, fast turboprop with two engines. We're in a single engine Cessna 207. As what in tarnation ground physics was that? This is what happens when Orbex uses poly runways and actual surfaces rather than the runway models Flightsim uses by default. They look a lot better. They can occasionally have moments, which is why they advise you to turn off crash physics in Orbex areas. So we're going to taxi up to the end of the runway here. No traffic around that we know of. We're going to make our call out once we get up to the end and turn around. This being a graded runway, we want to take off downhill. We are departing the way we're looking right now, so we'll swing around. So let's get ourselves turned around here. We've got our flaps set already. Lights are on for takeoff. And we'll get ourselves turned around here. My habit of differential braking for turning in a Cessna is very appropriate for this. Let's get ourselves turned around here. Do a quick run-up check. Okay, we're good to go. November 3038, departing to the northwest. Charlie X-Ray Charlie traffic. Okay, we're at the right speed, so let's begin to lift off. And we're up and away. Nice and easy peasy lemon squeezy. Oh, trim's being a little bit exciting today. Okay, and we're up. Speed's climbing, raw track flaps. Nose down with the flaps, that's a Cessna trend. Is my trim wheel working? Yes it is. Wait, why is my trim... No. What is happening here? I just had to unplug that because I think I know what exactly the problem was there. Okay, no, we still have the problem. Runaway trim wheel. This is not what I was expecting. Come on. Let's get the nose up with flaps. This is not what I was expecting to happen. But this can happen. More flaps, more flaps, more flaps. That's a tree. Power. Come on, pull the nose up. Pull the nose up. This is a problem. Yeah, we've got a runaway trim wheel. I was not expecting this to happen this quickly. This is bad. Okay, this is really bad. Oh, that's a tree. Come on, get the nose up for me. Come on, you pig. Oh, God, we're going to stall. We've got trim down now. I don't know what's going wrong with this aircraft, but this is problematic. This is really problematic. I don't know what to do. This is not something I've ever dealt with. This is almost kind of fatal conditions. Let me just keep an eye on the trim wheel for a second. Because it's still turning. And it seems to set itself in. And I don't know why. Not touching the controls. Hang on, why is it somehow mapping to my yoke? Trim is somehow attaching to the flight controls. So this is not an actual planned failure, this is a glitch. But runaway trim can happen. Only it's affecting me the right incorrect manner. Let's try and get this aircraft down and back to safety. And this ends up actually being a real problem. Runaway trim can happen in an aircraft. It's normally with electronic trim systems. But in my case this is not an electronic failure. Or a trim motor failure or grub screws. This is a failure that's actually a simulator error. But we're bringing the aircraft back safe, and we're going to stall if we don't put some power in here. Oh, nose is up, nose is up, nose is up. Flaps, 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 flaps. Come on. Put down, put down. Put it down. Power. Arrested descent. This is heavy. Okay, we're bouncing. Get the nose down. I've retracted the flaps. Wrong button. I am panicking through human error. Let's apply some brakes. Okay. And that was unforced error. And we recovered. We got the aircraft back on the ground. I am going to fix this mess, and we'll be right back. Well, hey folks, we're back here at Chitina, and we're taking off again. We've done all our pre-flight checks, all our systems are good to go. We are green for departure. We're going to get ourselves underway again after that dramatic little issue, which was technically a controls issue. So we're going to get ourselves airborne here. No problems this time that I'm expecting. Although nervously looks down at trim wheel, which is now behaving correctly. Let's get ourselves trimmed out for climb, and we should be good to go here. Neutralize up. And everything's behaving as it should. Phew. That was definitely an exciting start to the flight, one I wasn't perhaps expecting. We've reset our failure systems, which should be just engines now, not the flight simulator having a bug leading to derp. So we're going to begin our turnaround here. Our aircraft is cleaned out for flight. We're going to be heading south, following the path of the river just behind us. So we'll begin to climb to altitude. We're at about 1,500 feet right now. ASL. And this should roughly require us to get to about 3.5, 4. We are following the valley, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue, but you can see it just ahead of us there. So we're still at climb power. Give it a little bit more gas. Let's get ourselves trimmed out here. Just raise my seat up a little bit so I can actually see a little bit better. There we go. So it's a job of heading south here, following the river, and we'll be passing the town of Chitina just up ahead of us, and then we're heading down the valley, which will lead us past the Allen Glacier and the Miles Glacier. Then we reach the coast, turn north, and we can head into a visual approach at Cordova Smith, our home base. So what will happen when, I have no idea, but when you're flying, your job is to keep an eye on everything you're operating, keep an eye on the aircraft systems. We've got our course, oil pressure, oil temperatures, cylinder head temperatures, which helps us to decide what we're doing with our mixture, which of course we lean out as we climb to contain the mixture. We've got our fuel tank indicators. We're running a bit much fuel considering what we need today, our main bus amps and right fuel tanks, so we're pretty comfortable with our climb out now, so we'll knock the fuel pumps off. We don't need those anymore. The boost pumps are only really useful for initial takeoff and just for safety. The aircraft feeds itself after that point. A bit cold, we'll close the vents. So we head this way, following the valley, and it should be a fairly easy flight. So we're to continue our climb here about 500 feet per minute up to about 3,000 feet, and we should be good to go. Might take a little bit higher. Maybe that's me metagaming, knowing something at some point will happen, and altitude will always equal time. More altitude, more time. Got a nice relaxing flight here. I decided to make a difference in how I record these and record my voice audio separately. This way I can actually much better manage the level of my voice compared to the flying sounds in the background. Don't have to adjust things as much, and this way you guys get to hear a much more balanced, easy to hear Firekitten and a better overall video quality. So we'll just maintain our 500 feet per minute climb. Airspeed is looking good right now. Quick glance at all our instruments, and we are looking good. Of course, this section over here is all our flight instruments for those who aren't too familiar with aircraft. So we have airspeed, We have our artificial horizon used for instrument conditions and just general attitude. Altimeter. We have a compass which is also attached to our ADF. Second one there. And that's actually for VORs. That's the ADF. So that's a fuel computer. We have our vertical speed indicator, gyro compass, and our turn bank indicator, a clock, and our suction. Suction is what ends up coming through the pitot tube, and essentially these are all vacuum instruments, so they work based on pressure. Whether that be pressure for airspeed, pressure for altitude, generally detecting the movement of airflow across the pitot tube. Instruments in the center here are radios, so we have autopilot, which we're not going to bother with today. We have our transponder, which gives each aircraft an individual code to radar controllers. We have our ADF radio here, and our GPS, which in a lot more modern aircraft, rather than having separate actual tunable radios, you tend to have combined GPS radio units. This one's also an instrument radio annunciator panel. So audio indicators. Of course, we've got our radios here, so we've got our nav radios there, which are VOR related. We have our comms radios, main and backup frequencies. And we have the actual computer there, which lets us actually see where we're going, see terrain, see the environment around us as we're climbing up towards 4,000 now. We're going to look at our EGT over here. So this is exhaust gas temperature. Now, this is an optimal point, so if I drop the mixture down, the red lever, at full, you'll see the EGT drop. See the needle drop? Yeah, we're too rich. The fuel mixture air rich is too rich there, so we're going to lean it back. You can either do engine sound, or you can look at the exhaust gas temperature needle and looking for the peak exhaust gas temperature, which tells you the engine is running the most efficiently. So you've got the right balance of fuel to air. I tend to go off sound. Once you become familiar with a certain aircraft and how it sounds, you can pretty much peak the noise. Okay, so 20 inches of manifold pressure, nice cruising, and we're just going to level out at about 4,250. Seems like a nice number. We're just going to adjust our direction of flight slightly here, so we're kind of cutting across the valley segments. Nice and easy. Still climbing now. We'll take it to 4,500 before we level her out. There we go. Hello. Engine just sounded strange there. Let's look at our instrumentation here. RPM is... Temperature's gone up. That's just gone up, actually. Temperature. Sounds like a drop in the note. Pressure's good. Temperature's good. Engine sounds okay. There was like a slump there. Keep it down at about 20. Okay. Something definitely sounded rough there. Maybe our errors have begun for the day. Okay, so let's just level her out. Do we have a mag problem? Both? Left. Okay, we're seeing a slight drop on mag 1. Okay, maybe it's a magneto. It's a bit rough. We've got 2. Should be fine. Airspeed is actually a little bit low right now for our engine pressure, so we're not producing as much power. Okay. Now would be decision time for turnaround. Reduce the mixture. Okay. I think it might be advisable to turn around and head back to Chittenden. I'm not liking what we're seeing here. Everything's looking good there, so we're going to turn around. We're not making it to Cordova Smith today. We are turning the aircraft around. We're heading back to Chittenden for the second time today after our electronics malfunction earlier. So we're just going to turn the aircraft around here. I'm going to need a bit more power to do anything with this aircraft. We are bleeding speed. Loss of power. Possibly a cylinder just went out, because that would explain the slump in sound from the engine and the drop in performance. So we're going to get ourselves turned around here, head ourselves back towards Chittenden, which is our closest airport, just there at the head of the valley. So... oh, hello. Oh, crap. Oil pressure's dropping. Okay, we're losing oil pressure. Mayday, mayday, mayday. November 3038 is returning to Chittenden Airport. We have an oil leak, possible cylinder out on the engine. We're under power at this time. We're going to be requiring priority landing. Oh god, we're dropping to zero pressure. This isn't good. This is going bad quickly. Zero oil pressure. We've lost oil pressure. What's around me? I need to look down real quick. Technically I could look out the window, so we'll go third person all of a sudden. Okay, okay, we've lost the engine. Mayday, 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 number 3038, we're gliding, we've lost engine power, oil pressure 0, declaring an emergency. We're going to attempt to land on a sandbar in the Chittenden River. Okay, we're going down. We are going down. Okay. Need to build some airspeed. Yes, I'm well aware the engine's not running. Thank you, simulator. Okay, so that sputter of black stuff we saw coming out the hood was most likely an oil leak. So I'm guessing we lost a cylinder and it's damaged the oil system somehow. So the plane is telling me no bueno, no bueno, GTFO. Engine sputtered down rather than seizing, so we lost possibly another cylinder, lost power. Okay, our speed is within the gliding arc. You want to keep an eye on where we're heading to, because the sandbars behind us are really low down. I don't trust that I have enough glide speed to make it back to the airport here. With our altitude, we're just... it's so second nature to reach for the throttles, and I don't have any right now. So we're losing airspeed. We're not going to make it back to the airport. There is not a chance that's going to happen. So let's get myself some more trim. Set for best glide. We're going to head down here, make a banking turn to our southwest, and we're going to try and put down on that bar in the river we saw. It's a nice long sandbar. I'm not going to have a chance to make a second look at it and actually come down and look at the surface conditions. We're just going to have to friggin' hope at this point. But I do know I haven't got enough airspeed to make it out there. Or I make a faith call here and say we're going to try and glide for a landing closer to the valley. Yeah, I think we can actually... I don't trust that. Okay, I need some airspeed here. I need some airspeed. Let's push the nose down a little bit. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Aim for closer to Chittenden. There are some smaller sandbars out there. My airspeed right now is good, but I'm going to go for the faith option, which is turning around, because I know there is a sandbar there we can use. Let's keep the nose down whilst we're banking around here. Keep some airspeed up while we turn. Mayday, mayday, mayday. November 3038 is going down on a sandbar about 1 to 2 miles to the southwest of Chittenden in the Chittenden River. Okay, so that's our bar ahead of us. We're a bit high up, so time to use some glider tactics here and drop ourselves down a little bit. That way we can manage what we've got a bit better. Okay, so we burnt some altitude there. We don't want to have to make a go around on this. We are touching down this time. Otherwise we're not making it at all. Let's keep the nose in. We're not going to use flaps at this time because I'm not sure how much speed I'm going to bleed off. Okay, we got to make this, or we don't make it at all. But I am now going too fast. So, let's put some flaps in. This may not be the best call, but we're going to try it anyway. I've got one shot at this landing. I'm going to stand on these brakes like they owe me money. Pulling the flaps back out, because that is going to burn us speed we don't have. I have this disgusting feeling we're going to come in short here. Airspeed is about 100, and we're dropping lower. We're good on approach. Seatbelts are fastened. I'm going to bleed speed very quickly here. I don't like this. This is tight. We're going to stall in, I think. Uh-oh. 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 We're close. We're close. We're close. Flare. And touchdown. Whew. That was close. That was super close. Whew. I was not sure we'd make that. Okay. No, go away. Still a little bit nervous actually after that because that had my blood pumping. That had nerves. Systems shut down. Fuel to cut off. And aircraft is cold dark. Okay. Mags are off. Everything is shut down. Okay. Well, we're here on a sandbar in the Chittenden River. Our poor little 207 is much brown bread. But we're alive and we made almost a textbook landing there. Smooth and clear. We're just lucky that in the simulator this is flat. In real life there could be shrubs, there could be rocks, and you'd want to have a look at a sandbar before landing on them in most realistic circumstances where you want to take off again. But this was a emergency where most of our other options were steep terrain or forest. This was our best call. And we're down, we're alive, happy days, and I'm going to leave that there because I need to go and get a stiff drink. I know it's a simulator, I know it's a planned failure to an extent. I've set it to give me failures at some point during the flight. Wasn't expecting them this quickly, and I was not expecting them to be that dramatic and give me the least options possible. But this is why pilots train, and this is why in the simulator I train, because it gives me more experience. Never glided the 207 before. Now I can say I have. Glides like a brick. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed my stress. We'll see you next time. Bye.